How ancient dragons used the stars. A look at how ancient cultures, including dragons in myth, used the stars for navigation and prediction. Are the stars and the dragons the two oldest companions in the universe? Long before humans gazed up at the night sky in wonder, dragons like me roamed the mountains and forests, looking to the stars, not only for wisdom, but for guidance. You see, for my kind, the stars have always held secrets, and we dragons have always known how to listen to their whispers. In those ancient days, the stars were like family. Each twinkling light had its own voice, its own story to share. Dragons did not simply use the stars. We formed a bond with them, a bond that was both mystical and practical, a blend of cosmic understanding and down-to-earth survival. Let me tell you how. Imagine a time when dragons would gather high on mountaintops on nights, when the sky was clear and the stars were shining their brightest. This was our version of council, of ceremony. I remember sitting beside elders with scales that shone like moonlit silver. Dragons with knowledge far older than mine. They would tilt their heads to the heavens, listening with an intensity that quieted even the mountain winds. From these wise elders, I learned that the stars could teach us about timing, about destiny, and even about ourselves. One of the greatest ways we dragons used the stars was to navigate. Back then, without maps or written directions, it was the stars that told us where we were and where we could go. As you may know, dragons are not fond of following straight lines. We like to wander. But when a dragon wanders, they do not wander aimlessly. We look to the stars and let their patterns guide our wings and our path. We had particular respect for the North Star, or Dhruva, as some of the ancient sages called it. This star, always steady and bright, served as an anchor, a point we could rely on, no matter where we flew. I recall one journey, far from home, where I found myself surrounded by dense fog in a foreign forest. The sky was hidden, and I felt the weight of unfamiliarity. But then, through a thin break in the mist, the North Star revealed itself. With one glimpse, I knew the direction to take and found my way to safety. Dragons, like humans, find solace in constancy, and the North Star became a loyal friend to us. But beyond navigation, the stars also taught us dragons about time itself. We did not have clocks or calendars, but the stars moved in cycles, just as seasons turned and rivers flowed. We knew that when a certain star rose in the sky, the winter chill would soon arrive, and when another dipped below the horizon, spring was on its way. This rhythm was our clock, our reminder that time is a dance, a cycle that repeats and renews. For instance, there was a constellation we dragons called the Great Serpent, a vast sweep of stars that snaked across the sky in the warmer months. When we saw the head of the Great Serpent rising in the east, we knew it was time to gather food, to prepare for the cold times ahead. Dragons, after all, had to think ahead, and the stars, with their unchanging wisdom, reminded us to be mindful, to act with purpose and foresight. The stars also spoke to us of destiny. Each dragon had a star or constellation we felt drawn to, a celestial guide that reflected our own inner nature. Some dragons were drawn to the fiery red star of Mars, a sign of strength and bravery. They were the warriors, the protectors of our kind. Others felt a kinship with the gentle glow of Venus, those dragons who were healers and nurturers, the ones who would mend wings and soothe scales. And then there were the wise ones, drawn to Saturn's solemn rings, a sign of patience, wisdom, and a deep understanding of life cycles. I, myself, have always been drawn to the constellation you know as Orion. Its belt, those three bright stars in a line, has always felt like an old friend. In the quiet moments, I would look to Orion for clarity, for courage. Many times in my youth, when I felt uncertain of my path or purpose, I would fly to the highest peaks to speak with the stars of Orion, to ask them to lend me a little of their strength. In their silent, steady light, I found my answers, my confidence, my way forward. Then there was the knowledge of eclipse, a moment when the light of the moon or sun is momentarily hidden, a celestial pause that dragons viewed with reverence and awe. During eclipses, we would not fly, nor would we hunt. Instead, we would sit in stillness, listening, feeling the energy of the world shift. Ancient dragons believed that during an eclipse, a veil lifted, that unseen mysteries became clearer, if only for a short while. On one such eclipse night, an elder told me, "Zoran, there are times when the universe speaks more loudly, and only those who listen with open hearts will hear its call." Those words stayed with me, for they were true not only in eclipse, but in all things. The universe speaks in whispers and roars, and a wise dragon learns to heed them both. And so, young friend, you see that we dragons and the stars share a history that is both practical and mystical. We look to them for guidance, for wisdom, for connection. They were, and still are, companions on this journey we call life. And although we dragons may not often share these tales, the stars are still there, watching over you as they once did for us. When you next look up at the night sky, remember that those twinkling lights hold secrets, stories, and a wisdom older than time. Listen carefully, for the stars have always been guides to those who dare to wonder. Perhaps one day, you too will find your own guiding star, your own piece of the night sky that speaks to you. And when that time comes, know that you walk a path shared by ancient dragons and dreamers alike, bound together in the eternal dance of light and life.